footage for you guys. We're going to take a deep dive into this card, and I'm going to compare him directly to one of my favorite cards, Kyle Lowry. Now, I might hold on to the Jet to do the spotlight challenges, but I definitely am not sure if I'm going to take him over Lowry, but I'm going to find out with you guys. So let's take a deep dive in and see. So we're going to go right into freestyle, and you guys know my methods now if you've been watching the videos. Especially when it comes to point guards. This is true for every character, but especially when it comes to point guards, animations matter, body type matters, you know. Until you get your hands on a card, you don't know how good they are. So for instance, Westbrook right now, I would actually say Westbrook is slightly underpriced because the card is a little bit on the cheesy side. He's very, very good at a lot of things, and he's a better shooter than people think. All you got to do is give him a shoe and play with floor general. I keep calling it field general. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's look at the Jet. So we know about his stats. Jet's stats are basically he could do everything but dunk. Like everything's a 99 but dunk. So it's really what's his shot release look like? He's literally hot zones on the entire court. The shot release is absolute butter. That looks good. He's visibly bigger than Kyle Lowry, I think. That was a terrible release. There we go. Yeah, very, very easy release, guys. Very easy release. You can definitely shoot the lights out with this character. Let's test theory shoot from Limitless. Oh my god, yeah, this guy can really shoot it. This guy can really shoot it. Wow. Jason Terry's got a gun, man. Can we make one from the logo? Oh my god. Yikes. Kyle, I have bad news. I'm kidding. So the dribbles is where Kyle Lowry really shines. I mean, Kyle Lowry is a phenomenal shooter, but he has elite dribbles. Oh, Jason Terry, he's got the hezzy. He's got the really short, tight hezzy. I'm going to pull up the chat. I don't have it on the stream right now in case I wanted to do more with the gameplay. Cam Powell, dope D. How much did he cost? You know what's funny? I missed a snipe for 24K, but I got him for about 30K. Which honestly, I would say at 30K, he's good value. Just looking at his animations already, you can see here he's really got amazing dribbles. He can cheese around the perimeter with the best of them, and you've got to guard him way out. His step back's not as good as Kyle Lowry's, but in every other way, he's either equal or better. Now, Kyle Lowry's step back is a thing of beauty. It's a ridiculously great step back for a shooting point guard. But yeah, he can legitimately, I can feel his ratings, like he can legitimately green. You've got to guard this card from FU range, man. This is silly. You guys see this? Yeah, his character model looks a little big, right? So, guys, I'm going to compare him directly to Kyle Lowry after this, not just like with the stats, but I'm going to do a bunch of stuff with Jet, and then I'm going to do the same stuff with Kyle Lowry. Because I do think they're in the same exact archetype, so is Rondo. I haven't heard a lot of noise about Rondo, though. I wasn't particularly curious about the card. He's not a spotlight, so I don't need him for anything. He's so close to Lowry that I'm kind of like, whatever. His momentum dribble's not as good as Lowry's either. Like, his dribbles are obviously just a little bit worse than Lowry's, but they're definitely not bad. Definitely not bad. He feels pretty fast. He feels pretty snappy. But yeah, his character model looks a little big. He's got a nice momentum behind the back. Everybody kind of has the same snatch back, which is unfortunate. We're going to look at his step backs. With this character, you're going to want to know how to use those step backs, those Ticino shots. Oh, he's got a nice step back. You got to learn that. If you use this character, you got to learn that. He's got a really nice step back. Wow. This card is a little better than I thought. Like, even though his stats are really good, I'll admit I am thinking of the real player a little bit. And I guess at his best, Jet, he probably thinks he was better than Kyle Lowry. I'd probably take Lowry because in real life, Lowry is definitely a better defender. Oh, he dunked. I thought he couldn't dunk. Huh. That's interesting. Because Lowry definitely ain't dunking. That's not happening. Wow, he might make my squad, and this is why I follow the rules that I do. I always like to get my hands on a card. This card feels so good to shoot. I'm sitting here shooting over and over, and I have no reason to keep shooting. So let's look at his layup packages. So what I do when I test the layups is I stop holding turbo and I let it go there. Because the thing is, when you're trying to dunk all the time, you get different worse layup animations, right? So you see how slow that is? Because of his dunk gather, right? So when somebody jumps in front of you and interrupts that, that's where a lot of blocks come from. But when you're actually intending to do a layup, you get better animations. He has the Lucius Allen layup that I hate. His left to right layups are pretty simple. It almost reminds me of the swing or the long athlete layup package. He goes right up, he puts the ball out in front of him. I appreciate that. So those are left to rights. Oh yeah, that's a straightforward. Yeah, really nice layup package. See it out of a burst. He did that little in and out automatically. I didn't do that in and out. See if I go out with a hand. Yeah, he has a little gather there too that I don't love. He has that was not a cradle layup, but he cradled anyway. His layup package, I'm gonna give it a B+. He's got some good layups in there, but you can definitely get caught out there and get blocked even though you're wide open if he pulls one of those shenanigans on you. Like you're expecting that, and then he's gonna just cradle. I'm pressing virtually the same thing every time. I'm just doing straight towards the basket, and see, I'm doing the same thing, and he does that. I'm gonna do his actual cradle layup here. So first Euro. His Euro is really nice. That's a really nice Euro. And let's look at his cradle. And that's his cradle. His cradle is actually really good. So that's interesting. His cradle is faster. So I would say if you use this character, definitely go for the cradle layups. Because his cradle and his Euro step are both faster and less block bait than his regular layups. The regular layups are kind of they're a box of chocolates, you know what I'm saying? Like that right there, that's his regular layup. You just cradle that. Alright, so let's look at his step back. Nice. Looking good. Yep, that's pretty solid. He fades on it automatically, but he has such high shot ratings it probably doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Let's look at his post launches. Post launch is kind of ass. Yeah, that's bad. You guys see the difference between him and Westbrook? Remember when I did that with Westbrook? It was super duper fast. This is not a character that's going to post launch ever. It's just too slow. You can guard that 100%. And let's see his leaner. Very nice, very nice. A long release, oddly enough, but it makes it very easy to see. Yeah, it's very easy to see. A little on the slower side, but not necessarily a negative, more of a quirk. I would say it's a slight negative. That looks pretty blockable. So his leaner, not the best thing in the world. That's a nice leaner. But he's got some goofy leaners in there. Again, with his shot rating, you can get away with it. As you can see, I'm releasing early constantly because I'm expecting it to be over. Even that was early, and I held the button forever. Yeah, his leaner's a little slow. Again, not anything I'd seriously kill the card for because he's so good at dribbling and shooting. You don't need to be taking this shot all the time unless it's a situation where they're like hugging the paint on you, waiting to block your hopefully slow layup animation, and you just pull this. And the good thing about it is it's really high percentage. You see, once I've adapted to it, hitting greens all the time with it now. Yeah, it's a very good leaner. You just have to use it in the situations that it's useful for. It's useful for a guaranteed bucket. It's not useful for defense is chasing you down and you're going to beat him with a leaner. He doesn't have that kind of leaner. Alright, let's see his size up. Pretty good. Let's look at his quick first step out of his... Let's try that again. Solid. Obviously he's no Westbrook. You can feel the difference, but it's pretty good. That was a little late. Yeah, it's pretty good. Again, you're probably going to be wanting to do that momentum behind the back, and the good thing about it is this character shoots so well. They have to guard him here. This is as easy for him as this three-pointer is for everybody else. Like, he's that good of a shooter. Like, he's so good of a shooter, I almost feel like I have to use him. Like, he's that good. Making whites from the logo. Wow, 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 wow. And Jason Terry is a good shooter in real life, but this is a little crazy. Kyle Lowry can do this in real life, but Jason Terry, I don't know, man. This is before his time to be shooting out there. He still played in the era when coaches were like, yeah, don't do that. But alright, so that's his deal in terms of the animations. I would give his animations a solid A. His dribbles are a little worse than the elite dribblers. His cradles are save his layup package. He's going to dunk for you once in a while. He's got not the best step back in the world. It's not elite like Kyle Lowry's, but his momentum behind the back. Let's look at his momentum spin real quick. It's all right. Nothing to write home about. Yeah, his dribbles overall, I mean, he can definitely get to the basket. And with him, that move is really strong because you don't want him shooting that. You know, you don't want him shooting that shot. Like, that's like, no matter how far back he goes, you have to chase him. Like, you can literally do that to someone over and over. You know? You just do that every single time. And they just have to eat it. So yeah, this guy's he's a monster offensively. So let's look at his. Now he's a little small, but that's so far has not been a problem for guards, unless they're facing Ben Simmons or a post-up Penny Hardaway. So you know that already once you look at the character, though. So no reason to get into that. So as you can see, with my coach and floor general, his ratings are 99, which is why he's just hitting from everywhere. He literally could not be a better shooter with everything going on. His driving layups are 99 as well, which is going to help you a lot on those Euros and cradle layups. So his driving dunks are 49 with the boost, and that was enough for him to dunk. He must, I don't know if he has a high dunk tendency or what. 99 ball control. That's extraordinary. Pass accuracy is 95. Again, in his dreams, but we'll take it. Rebounding, nothing going on. 94 perimeter defense. Wow. Wow. I think I'm going to have to retitle this video, He Replaced Kyle Lowry. I mean, this is just unreal. 90 lateral quickness, a 98 speed with ball. No strength whatsoever. Where's Kyle? Kyle has much higher strength. That's a serious factor when people try to post you up, because they will have some difficulty posting up Kyle, and they will body Jason Terry. So definitely keep note of that. That's a big notch in Kyle's favor. And that's pretty much that for the ratings. Again, elite speed, elite ball handling, elite passing, and I mean, I don't know if elite's a good enough word for his shooting. He's honestly, I don't know. There's no way for there to be a better shooter in the game than Jason Terry, unless somebody's just better at, leaning threes or something, which I didn't even really try. So let's look at his badges. So again, this Giant Slayer and this Acrobat, these are a real factor because he has really good cradle animations and a really good Euro step. So thanks for everybody joining the stream. If you've caught it so far, the bottom line is he's an out-of-this-world shooter, like an absolutely out-of-this-world shooter. His ball handling stats are great. His behind-the-back momentums are good, but some of his other dribble packages fall a little short of what Kyle Lowry can do. So if you're in love with Kyle Lowry's animations, I don't know if Jason Terry's shooting and speed are enough of an advantage to get you to switch over. For me, I have to play both characters, to be honest with you. I'm going to play both characters a bunch and decide. But he's such a great shooter. It's hard to pass up a shooter that's ridiculous. So looking at his shooting badges here, catch and shoot, clutch, difficult shots, range extender. That's why he's getting those greens. Slippery off ball, effective when you call plays. Corner specialist actually is a nothing badge to him because it's not really a big badge on shooters. Like people with a high shooting rating, much more of a factor on a guy like Russell Westbrook or DeAndre Jordan, right? It has much less effect on really good shooters. Flexible release, which you definitely don't need because he has a gigantic green window. Green machine, which you do need because he has a gigantic green window. Of course, he has quick draw. Tireless shooter and volume shooter. So the more you kill people, the more you kill people. This guy is a bucket. I wonder why he's so cheap. Like 2K is doing this thing where they're releasing all of these cards that can pass, dribble, and shoot and defend, but they can't dunk really. I think they're trying to keep the value of Derrick Rose high, of Gilbert Arenas high. They want to separate the diamonds from the pink diamonds. So I get that, and I don't mind that at all. Like, if he was dunking on people, there'd literally be no reason to pick any other point guard ever, except for size. Hall of Fame dimer. That is crazy. Crazy. Hall of Fame quick first step. See, and this is what I'm talking about when I talk about you got to play the characters. I don't think I have Westbrook on here right now, but if you guys see the I see I'm missing some of the chat. I apologize, guys. If you guys saw the Westbrook video, Westbrook moves off the standstill faster than Jason Terry. Just on a side-by-side. Got Keith Van Horn for 1,200. Yeah, Keith is a great, I think he's a really great budget card. What's up, David? Welcome again to the chat. But yeah, he's got some really, really nice badges. What's his tight? Gold tight handles. That is huge. That is huge. So the bottom line with gold tight handles, if you guys don't know, is when you do this, if you have tight handles on Gold or Hall of Fame, eventually they will stumble. Like literally they will eventually break. So I don't know at what level tight handles becomes like super cheesy, but I'm sure that at gold it's gonna happen. So I just want to look at his quick first step a little bit. Yeah, he's definitely slower than Westbrook off the first step. He's definitely slower. It's not that like Westbrook has this moment of like yeet where he just like explodes a little bit, and Jason Terry, he's quick, but he doesn't have the explosion to the level that Westbrook has. Definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, the whole court is a hot zone. It's crazy. And he has hot zone hunter, so and a 99, even though, I mean, to be honest with you, hot zone hunter, similar to corner specialist, does not affect really great shooters as much as it does average shooters. So the hot zones do, but the hot zone hunter not so much. So the badge, it's nice to have, obviously. You'd rather have it than not, but I mean, this guy doesn't miss. Like, this is crazy. That's a little slow, and it still went in. Wow. Yeah, this guy's insane. If you don't care about dunking or size, he's definitely up there. The one thing I would say before you trade in your Kyle Lowrys, try to go up against somebody who tries to post you up and see which one of those cards gives you more resistance, because Kyle Lowry literally has twice the amount of strength of this card. Literally twice the amount of strength. So just for comparison, so let's look at the rest. We got all his. Did we get his defensive badges? Let's just double check here. So he has gold clamps, gold interceptor. Not sure how much of a factor that is with his little itty bitty arms. Pickpocket, which is going to help. Tireless defender, which is it's important. He does have tireless shooter or scorer or whatever it is. So it's not as much of a factor for him as it is for other characters, but it's still better to have it than to not have it. To a Steph Curry diamond, he's better than Steph Curry. Let's definitely say that outright. He's definitely better than any Steph Curry card in this game because he's a better defender. I'm pretty sure he's faster, and quite frankly, he's a better shooter. He is with the very, very, very top of the shooters in this game because not only does he have the statistics and the hot zones, but he's got the release. His release is insane, and the Hall of Fame with range extender with the crazy shooting statistics he can literally pull up from the logo with regularity. Like, he does not have to think of where he is on the court. Like, you know, when they catch the ball in weird places and you're like, oh no, I gotta move forward. He does not. Just shoot it. Like, literally just shoot it. So already Kyle's dribbles just feel snappier, you know? He does have the glitchier, Jason Terry does have the glitchier hesitation, but Kyle has that smooth step back. That is really, like, again, I kind of look at it like Street Fighter, man. Like, that's a useful move, you know? That's a really useful move. You pull up into your green off of that. Like, you know, how long, I don't know how many times I'm going to be taking shots from the logo, but I do know how many times I'm going to momentum, be behind the screen, hop back on somebody, and jam in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to happen a lot. Kyle Lowry, even that little stutter dribble, like, Kyle Lowry's handles are S tier, man. That's a S tier dribble move out the momentum. That's sick. That is sick. Man, I might just play them both. You look at Kyle's quick first step. I didn't really like look at it. Yeah, his quick first step isn't like anything to write home about either. It's good, you know, but I should say it's not as important for these characters as it is for Westbrook. So it's good that his is better, but it's just worth noting, you know. They're not going to explode off the standstill the way Westbrook is, and it doesn't matter what their stats say. It's just built into the character, you know. And that's something I talk about a lot with this game is, even though you can put the numbers up and down, the characters are global, right? So you'll notice that a character who's good at a certain thing, unless they go all the way down to like emerald or bronze or something, they will feel very much the same in a certain area because they're just good at that. Look at that gorgeous layup by Kyle Lowry. These cards are really close. I don't know if Jason Terry's range or Kyle Lowry's shooting puts them more over the top. I'm going to have to play both cards to see because they are very close. Kyle has better handles and more strength. Jason's a little bigger, a little faster, and has better shooting. So I don't know, you know. I really don't. Like, I can't. Playing both cards, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. It might be a pick 'em. They both have excellent S tier releases. You know, Kyle again has the S tier ball handles, and I think that again, it depends on how you use the character. If you're just catching and shooting, then Jason Terry's going to be better. But if you're dribbling around screens and you're creating off of screens, that step back's a factor. You know, that step back's a factor. That's like, again, in Street Fighter, if a character doesn't have a fireball, I look at them a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, they're both excellent guards until a guard comes out that's bigger than they are. The only way to improve on this specific archetype of character is to get the Gilbert Arenas. That's literally the only, and that's because he can dunk. That's the only card better than these guys. Outside of that, I would definitely take Jason Terry and Kyle Lowry in terms of this archetype. You know, not a slashing archetype, but a shooting archetype. Because even Derrick Rose, who's a great shooter, he doesn't shoot like Jason Terry shoots. You know what I mean? Like, if you're that, again, that's Steph Curry style. If you're playing a Steph Curry style, these two cards are really great, but you're getting defense on top of that. So I mean, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I wish I could give you a definitive answer, but all you guys have to judge for yourselves what kind of team you have built, what your personal playing style is. But Kyle Lowry has a better dribble package. Specifically, that step back right there is just absolutely a kill. You know, you can kill people with that step back all day. And the other big advantage for Kyle is Kyle has an 80 strength, while Jason Terry has a 40-something strength. And that is a massive, massive big deal because Kyle is not going to get back down like Jason Terry is. Jason Terry in the post is most likely going to get eaten alive completely, which will be a factor against cards like Westbrook. You know, cards that want to take you into the post. Kyle's going to give you some resistance and not let them get the position that they want. whereas Jason Terry might just, you know, roll over and die. You got to take him out into the field to see which one bears out and which one's more important. But if somebody went with Terry's shooting over Kyle's extra bit of defense that he gets from the 80 strength, I would totally understand it. If somebody was like, yeah, Jason Terry's a great shooter, but Kyle's also a great shooter, and I know his release and I'm stepping back on fools, I would get that too. Both elite shooters, elite ball handlers, great layup packages on both cards, great small defenders who are going to give you a lot of versatility in that direction, and they both can just score when it comes to shooting the basketball, and are going to be nightmares around screens. As you can see, Kyle is no slouch. Do not forget what you're dealing with when you deal with this card. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up the video. If y'all have any questions or anything, hit me with them now. But that's the Jason Terry gameplay. I definitely recommend getting out in those snipe streets. I missed a heartbreaking snipe that I don't have the strength to share with you. It was Vince Carter at 47k. But yeah, the snipe street's alive right now. Jason Terry is excellent. He's at a really good price. You don't really even have to snipe Jason Terry. He's worth the roughly 35 to 38k that you can get him at. He's going for about that much. I would definitely say he's worth that much. Easily worth that much. And yeah, he may make my team over Kyle Lowry, which is shocking to me because Kyle Lowry is so good on both ends of the floor and at the shooting and at the dribbling. I thought, man, that Jason Terry would have to be crazy to get some PT over Kyle Lowry, because Kyle Lowry can do that. But Jason Terry is wild too. Very, very close. Very, very close. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you guys with the next gameplay. Hopefully I pick up a Vince Carter card I can show you guys.